So this is the Onsra Black Carve. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Ernest Ramos. I ride electric skateboards and review stuff. And today I am reviewing the Onsra Black Carve. And as the name suggests, oh yeah, this is really carvy. It's a really carvy board. It feels so good to just cruise around and just carve the streets. The Onsra Black Carve sports a good-looking 37-inch bamboo and fiberglass composite deck. It has 13-inch forged dual kingpin trucks paired with 115mm honeycomb rubber wheels, giving the board excellent carvability while maintaining great grip. It's powered by a 12S 3P pack made out of Samsung 35E cells. This takes about 4 hours to charge from empty to full with the supplied charger. And more on this battery pack later. This drives two 5065 1500 watt motors via a Hobbywing ESC. All that power results to a published top speed of 33 miles per hour or 52 kilometers per hour with these 115mm rubber tires. The published range is about 30 kilometers for these tires, and I've taken the board up to about 15 kilometers and consumed around 2/3 of the pack according to the remote, so this might be a bit optimistic. The Onsra site says the deck is supposed to be bouncy, but it's still a pretty stiff deck. The flex is almost negligible, but that doesn't negatively impact the ride quality. In fact, I'd say the slightly stiff deck is an advantage with this board because it helps a lot in maintaining accurate and controlled carves. So the Onsra Black Carve has a very sporty look to it. It's got a pretty short wheelbase. So the short wheelbase plus those dual kingpin trucks make this a really carvy board. And out of the box, it's just wow. When you couple the double kingpin trucks and the drop-through deck design, and with these 115mm wheels, well, clearance might be an issue. Back here in the Philippines, we've got those killer humps, and this board as is just isn't built for that. But the 115mm wheels just gives it a nice smooth ride despite being a fairly stiff deck. Yeah, even those cracks, pretty comfy. It's not bad. So the 115mm wheels would definitely get you through grass, but it's pretty slippery. You know what's nice to have on a hot day like this? Some milk tea. This one's from T Capital. They sent this to me along with some nice dishes. They got some nice food there. Pretty yummy. I was supposed to film, so they sent me those chicken wings and shawarma, and I was supposed to film the shawarma as well, but I kind of forgot to press record, and yeah, I liked it so much I finished it quickly, and before I realized it, there was nothing left to film. But at least I got the chicken wings, and yeah, and my wife really liked it, and it's not always that she gets pleased nowadays. Yeah, so if you ever get to want some milk tea and get a nice snack, check them out, T Capital. I'll post a link in the description below, and I've also got some discount codes for you below, so yeah, enjoy. So back to the Onsra. So, hill climbing. Got that truck pass through. So this is the hill where I usually test all my boards. I'm in full throttle. Just listen to it. Listen to it. You can hear the RPM dropping a bit. There you go. It's dropping, dropping, dropping. Yeah, but we made it up the hill. So the motors on this is pretty similar to what you'd find in the Evolve. The thing is, this thing has a much higher top speed, 52 kilometers per hour. How does it do that? Well, along with longer gear ratio, it's also pushing more volts through the pack. It's a double-edged sword. The longer gearing means that your initial acceleration isn't that good, but you got longer legs, and you can hear from climbing up that hill, you can hear the RPM drop. This thing also runs the same cells as the Evolve does, the Samsung 35E, and that has caused quite a stir among the eskate community, especially from the DIYers, because you see the 35E Samsung cells are have a pretty low discharge rate. Now this board has a 12S 3P configuration, so I think it adds up to about 24 amp discharge, which isn't much. So you're working the motors really hard, and you're working the batteries really hard, and you can feel it. I've been going up and down that hill there just while filming this and all that B-roll, and this is the first board where I could actually feel the battery pack get warm. And yeah, the motors are pretty hot as well. So about that top speed, I sure as hell am not going to reach that in here. 52 kilometers per hour, wow. But I think the way this board is set up right now, I'm not quite sure it's safe to reach that 52 kilometer per hour top speed. It just wobbles as soon as you get off the throttle, and it's not safe. It's like every time I let go of the throttle, I do this Shakira dance, and it's both embarrassing and unsafe. I really think this board would benefit from a change of bushings, and like on the Rampage, I'm using Riptides, and I cannot recommend the Riptides enough. So I really dig this deck. It's got this short stance, but it's comfy. My feet fit really well with this deck, and concave is just right, so I know exactly where my feet are. The grip tape, those thick foam type grip tapes, I don't really feel it that much, so I don't know how well it does with dampening the vibrations, because to be honest, 115 millimeter rubber wheels does a good job with that already. I don't have the cloud wheels to compare this to, but yeah, maybe that might be better. I don't know. So brakes. Let's test the brakes. Brakes, 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 brakes. Braking. I won't stop. Sorry. Yeah. The brakes could be better. So the brakes kind of suffer mostly with the same issue with the acceleration. At speed, when you're going fast, the brakes are fine. But when you start slowing down, it starts just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. I haven't tried yet, but I don't think this board can stop me down that hill. Okay, here we go. We're going down that hill. Let's see if this board has enough brakes to stop me. Going down, going down. Downhill, 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 downhill. Full brakes, full brakes. Are you gonna stop? Well, I could probably step off, but yeah, there we go. Still moving. Yeah, it's probably not gonna stop. And both my other boards, the Rampage and the Boosted, if I went on full lock on the brakes, it's gonna lock those rear wheels, and I kind of like it that way. Same with the acceleration curve, so kind of suggests that the board is set for a longer gearing, so it's pretty much set for top speed, which kind of bugs me because I don't know where this board fits. So normally when you got a board like this with a dual kingpin truck and a short deck, first thing you'd think is maybe a low-speed cruiser, but at 52 kilometers per hour, it almost feels unsafe. I would probably like this better if this board had reverse kingpin trucks, and at least it made sense in my head. Fast board, go high speed. Well, I guess it's okay that you can go 52 kilometers per hour and you just don't do it. You got cars that do over 200, and you don't usually drive at 200, do you? Okay, some final thoughts about the Onsra Black Carve. It looks fast, and it is a fast board. I mean, these 115 millimeter wheels remind me of those big fat tires that you see on those muscle cars or those sports cars. It's drop down deck, the design, the way it sits so low to the ground, it really evokes speed. Yeah, it does have speed. It goes really fast. The thing is, it's also a bit unstable, at least for my taste. I think for a short board like this, if I were to go to that top speed, I would probably prefer a reverse kingpin truck. That said, the dual kingpin trucks in this thing is not bad. Don't get me wrong. It makes the board a lot of fun to ride. It'll get you from point A to point B, and it'll get you there with a smile. A few nitpicks. The remote, when you hold it on your right hand, the LCD screen, you're gonna block it and you're not gonna see it. You're gonna have to open your hand, which is kind of awkward. I think it would have been better if they put the LCD screen up here. It's a minor nitpick. Then there's the issue with the battery on this board. I am not sure if using 35 E-cells was a totally bad thing. It's probably adequate for this board, but it's right there in the limit on how much current it probably needs. So maybe in the long term you might be stressing your components more, your batteries more, so it's probably why the battery pack gets warm when I was riding it. The motors, it's almost like a straight out Evolve clone in this case. I don't know if they're using the exact same motors or the exact same kV rating. They are running a higher voltage because I think the Evolve runs a 10S 4P. This one runs a 12S 3P. So you got more cells in series, so you get a slightly higher voltage, so you get a higher top speed. Plus the gearing helps as well. But then again, you're also running small motors, and smaller motors will run hotter. And during my hill tests, I did notice the motors getting hot. Hotter than all my other boards, so hot enough that it's not comfortable to hold. I remember that Ronnie did experience overheating. His remote sent him a temperature warning, so yeah, overheating might be a thing if you're pushing the board really hard. Is it worth the asking price? Well, so far from what I've heard, Fabi has been excellent in answering back towards his customers. When I see other reviews of this board or threads of this board in Reddit, Fabi's there. He answers the questions, he talks to the people, and he's very good at communicating, and that's props to him. So, provided that he can maintain the support, the level of support that he's giving to these boards right now, then yeah, you're basically paying for the support cost, and it still costs less than an Evolve. It's not gonna accelerate as hard as the Evolve, but it's got a better top speed. It's just as Carve, and it shares a lot of the same components as the Evolve. And a few $100 save could get you better safety gear. So, going back on the low ground clearance, as you can see, this board has seen a lot of scrapes underneath. I didn't scrape this, I promise. It's not me. I didn't do it. If you got bad roads or high-speed bumps like us, maybe you might want the larger cloud wheels, or you might want the bigger AT wheels. Speaking of the tires, these 115mm wheels are really grippy, and I was surprised at how far I could push it while carving. It just doesn't slide out under me. In fact, after riding this for the past 3 days, I tried to ride my Rampage around, and the first thing that happened was I slid my rear end. I don't know if it's gonna last long, given how much grip they give, but yeah, I'm looking at them right now. It doesn't show any normal signs of wear. So, and the rubber is pretty hard as well, so maybe it'll last. Yeah, so I guess that's about it for the Onsra. If you like what you see here, please click the like button and subscribe for more. Your likes and subscriptions really help small creators like me. To all my subscribers out there, thank you for your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya!